Legacy in the room, yeah, we set the tone. Real conversations, it's more than a show. Strategy, power, how wealth really grow. If you're building something big, you already know. Welcome to the Legacy Lounge, where decisions get made. We don't talk it, we build it, and we pass it down for generations. Legacy. Legacy.
Good evening, and welcome to our second episode of 2026. We are back with another episode. We're sticking in our theme this quarter, which is about discipline and decisions. And as professionals or business owners, our most important decisions are made in our finances. So I'm Sandra B, and I'm one of the co-hosts of Legacy Lounge. And I have with me tonight my lovely other co-host.
I'm Shamika, for those who might have forgot. So listen, I'm excited.
That's hard.
I'm excited.
Hey, y'all, hey.
Hey.
Look, I'm here. I'm everywhere right now. I feel like I'm on like 12,000 different places at the same time.
Listen, it's an entrepreneur's dream, ain't it?
Look, who said that? They lied. They lied from there. Okay.
This is not easy.
This dream. Look, this ain't a dream. This is a nightmare.
Listen, Biggie told y'all, but the Bible told him, more money, more problems. Listen.
Okay. And is. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Hanging in there. So, what are we talking about? Money? What did you say? More money, more problems?
More money, more problems.
That's right. Discipline and good decision making, strategic spending.
Nobody has that. That's all I can tell you. I'm not. It's tax time. Nobody has that right now. Everybody's not being disciplined and not spending money right. So that seems like all I've been doing all day today. It's just been what did she say? More money, more problems. So yeah, I definitely can appreciate that. I could definitely appreciate that.
Yeah. No, we started the year off when we were talking about money, making decisions under pressure with our money. And this month we're talking about emotional spending versus strategic spending. So, outside of being pressured, we ain't got to be pressured to mess up some money. We want to make sure we're spending with intention. That's what I like to say. And some of those things come with, we like to reward ourselves. We worked hard this week, so let me go blow $1,000 because I deserve it, right? or we had a rough week and we want to do something to make ourselves feel better. And most of the time that's going to involve spending some money. But what are we really saying when we make those decisions with our money?
And I think
so we're going to figure out some ways to make better decisions tonight. Go ahead, Dee.
And I honestly think that's a generational thing because I don't remember that growing up. I don't remember, and again, I'm going to speak for the Gen Xers, okay? I'm going to speak for the I'm not a boomer, I'm not even close to a boomer. My parents were boomers. My father was the silent generation, but my mother was a boomer. So I'm going to speak from being raised by boomers in the silent generation that we didn't grow up with the expectation of rewarding ourselves for what we consider normal behavior. So I think how all the kids on the team get a trophy. It's kind of like that in real life. Like people are giving themselves rewards for doing what they should be doing as an adult. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the problem is because we feel like I work hard for it. I deserve to put myself in debt for becoming a responsible adult. Mm-hmm. And it's like they don't understand the irony of that statement. You're spending money you don't have to reward yourself for doing what you were supposed to do. And it goes back to me to that generation of giving everybody a trophy for showing up for the game. You didn't win anything. You didn't do anything to require you to receive a trophy, but we're going to give you one because you're here.
Right.
And I think that now it's full blown into adulthood. They got a trophy for just showing up. Now they want a trophy. They want a self-care, and to me, I do think we give it titles, right?
Yeah.
Self-care. I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to take a vacation. Our parents grew up not taking vacation, not rewarding themselves, and dying of a heart attack at 50. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to spend our money now, go broke, not have anything, and call it, whatever we call it. But look at
the best life.
Right.
Look at the best life, right? Or fear of missing out, or you only live once.
Yes.
They done gave us so many titles now that to me, it's an excuse to go out and be irresponsible because you were responsible. I don't get it.
She said, you're responsible to be. I can't even repeat what you said, but y'all gotta rewind it because that was true. But, so let's talk about what is emotional spending. You just broke it down, and you broke it down. So in simple terms, emotional spending is driven by feelings, like you said, feeling like we were stressed or feeling like we deserve something because somebody else has it, or they went and bought it. Fear of missing out, living today like it's your last, and also wanting to look professional. Some people are in industries where they are pressured, in reference to last month's episode, or either just kind of badgered about how they should be presenting themselves, and they go spend money on things thinking it's going to help them make more money. So there's so many different reasons people may do the emotional spending.
They have given themselves permission to be irresponsible. They have justified it through whatever justification they've given themselves, and now it's like it's okay. And so now people can call it emotional spending or whatever they call it. To me, it's just an excuse. There was no reason for you to go out and do XYZ. You have now created one, and they're calling it.
But I reached my goal this week. My goal was to do 5,000, and I reached my goal, so now I should be able to go spend it.
Good. You reached your goal.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to have a goal. You're supposed to reach it. Attaboy. You know what?
And the reward is that you reach your goal.
Why can't you pat yourself on the back? Why can't you go sit outside in the sun for 10 minutes and be grateful and thankful and say, oh my gosh, I reached my goal. That, it was so hard. Why can't you have just a conversation with yourself and let that be the reward? Why must the reward be something financial and monetary that you can't afford because you feel like it's justified? You've justified it in your own mindset that you should get something for doing something that you should have been doing.
Right. That's not it. That's the adults of today.
But to me, that's just the opposite of being an adult. It's literally going back to being a child and being less than responsible for things you're supposed to be responsible for. I think that's why I think there's always going to be some of us that don't get it. We just don't get it.
Right.
Because if you're telling me that I should be able to go out and reward myself by, I reached the goal. I had X amount of revenue I made last year. I exceeded my goal. Okay. So because I exceeded my goal, what do I get for that?
Right.
What should I get for that?
You make the
money. Those who know we need to do better, this is for you. If you still don't get it and you still in that mind state, I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna celebrate my wins. And we're not saying don't celebrate your wins. How you celebrate your wins matters. By all means, celebrate. Like Didi said, pat yourself on the back. post in one of your networking groups, post in our group. If you're not a part of our group on Facebook, post there, post
Thank
on
you.
a thread in on our YouTube channel. Let us help you celebrate, you know, and maybe somebody else has it in their budget to gift a business owner. Hey, I saw you hit your goal. I paid for a month subscription for whatever service, or here's $25 just for some gas money, just to say, hey, congratulations, I see you. I know it may
Thank
not
you.
mean a whole lot, but
Thank you.
celebration is different, you know?
Because a reward should come from those who are able to give you the reward. The reward and acknowledge it should be outside of yourself. Self-reward is like, I don't know, tacky.
Listen, I'm guilty, so let me be the first to say I am trying to do better. Because I will, it's one of those, I got it, I want it, I buy it. I've been like that for a long time. So trying to break that habit, it's a challenge sometimes. But I also understand, you know, over the past few years, like I cannot do that. You can't keep buying stuff saying, oh, it's for my business, and it's not benefiting your business.
There
You
you go.
bought 20 courses and you never finished the first one.
There you go.
Why?
And
Right.
because it's a business expense, I can write it off. But do you need to? Because people will forget sometimes, even when it comes to business, you don't buy everything. Okay, I'm a business owner. Could I afford to have bought a car every year in my business? I could have afforded to do so. Do I still have the car that I had from 2019 that I paid cash for? I do. You know why? Because that bitch still runs. Okay. And she sits in my driveway. Okay. And she's got less than 50,000 miles on it. So what I'm able to do and what's necessary is two totally different things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
She don't stay there until the wheels. I think I did a live during the snowstorm. I was saying, my little kid, look, I tell everybody, it's a Kia Telluride. Okay. No. Do I own a Mercedes? No. I saw somebody delivering me food today in a Mercedes coupe. And I was sitting here, something wrong with this. Okay. You delivering, okay. You Jersey Mike's to me, or yeah, it was lunchtime. It wasn't breakfast because I did get breakfast delivered. We'll talk about that. Okay. I don't have time to cook. I'm going to tell you right now.
We all got our spending habits. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have time to cook. If I had time to cook, I cooked during the snowstorm, and I lost a total of about 4 hours a day trying to figure out between prepping, trying to get the food, then trying to eat. Nah, I don't have time for that. You know what? Starbucks knows my order. The driver knows about what time I'm going to order it. My notification goes off. It auto sets up the order in my daggone app for me. So all I got to do is hit send. And my coffee and my oatmeal and my little snacky thing gets here about 7:30 every morning. So, and then my lunch and then my dinner. Okay, so that part. So if you're in Winterville and you want to make some good money, you stay somewhere around those restaurants, and I got you. But, okay. But when I saw the person pull up, it was in a black 2-door coupe Mercedes, and I'm sitting here going, I got a Kia Telluride parked in the driveway, but you driving a Mercedes. That don't make no sense. It should be the other way around. The Mercedes should be parked, and the person with the Kia Telluride should be doing the deliveries. But that lets you know that somebody thought that purchase, and I don't know, understand the circumstance. I'm just using them as an example. It could be any number of reasons. Okay, they could be doing it to help somebody out. They could be donating all the money. There could be a lot of things they're doing, right? I'm not saying it can't be. Well, let's say they're a spender. Okay, they went and spent money on something maybe they can't afford. Now they're driving to supplement their income to help pay for that purchase because they wanted that so bad. They wanted to reward themselves so bad with that vehicle. They did it. Meanwhile, I'm kikiing because I don't have no car payment. Okay. And I'm happy. So, and then when it snowed last week, I could get around. That person couldn't even get out my driveway. So I know they couldn't get around in the snow. So when I was doing my live last week, I was explaining to people, I'm poor. I drive a Kia Telluride. Somebody said, "You're not poor if you drive that." I said, "Well, I feel like I am because people expect me to have something more luxurious." But why? It's not a requirement. I work virtually. Hell, it's not even a requirement for me to have a car. Right. That car probably gets driven by more strangers than it ever got driven by me. I had it on Turo for the first damn 2 years that I owned it. So half the miles are not even my miles. I rented the car out just because it sat there so much.
Turned into it. That's it. Just like that.
There you go.
I don't understand why in our community we have done just the opposite. We have struggled the most in our legacy, right? We have struggled the most out of anybody. And I understand people of a Jewish community are going to say something different. I'm talking about for the length of time. I'm not talking about the Holocaust or one specific period in time. I'm talking about for generations. We have had more of a generational impact or destruction. Destruction has been impacting our generation historically for more than one generation, right? So why don't we understand how hard it is for us to gain and get things? So we should do things to save stuff. People right now, we have the lowest amount of home ownership than we've ever had in our own community because we don't value our grandparents' houses, our grandparents' land, our grandparents' legacy. We'd rather sell that and get a quick buck because we don't want to live there. We don't want to own that. We don't want to have that. So everything we're doing is showing lack of responsibility. Everything we're doing is creating its own little tornado. And I want us to go back and look at the decisions we're making. Stop kicking your kids out at 18. Let them stay home. Do you know how much money they could save if they would stay with you instead of going out there and paying somebody else's rent or mortgage?
Long as they're saving it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Make sure they're actually saving the money, though.
Yeah. And that brings us to the other side of, emotional spending, which is the strategic spending. We have to be more strategic with our spending. And that means giving your money an assignment. I tell everybody, every dollar should have a homework assignment. If you don't know what your money is out here to do, then it's going to be out here doing wherever it falls, So you want your money to have a clear intention of what it's going. Is this dollar supposed to be flipped into two, or is this one supposed to go towards the rent?
Right.
You should have your budget. We talked about budgeting in the last episode. So it's all about strategically spending your money and knowing what's most important with prioritizing. Is it more functional for your child to stay at home and save money, or does it make more sense for them to move out and save money? It could be a per household situation, but for me and mine, if you're gonna be home, you're gonna be saving some money. Because you ain't saving some money, you can go spend somewhere else or pay me more.
The quickest way to know if they're not saving it is if they asking you for money all the time. What you doing with your money? But I don't care what household you're in. There's three things you could be asking yourself, whether you're talking about your household spending or your business to help you ascertain whether or not this spending is really strategic or not. One, what's the outcome? Kind of to your point, Sandra. What's the outcome of this money? Is that dollar supposed to make me 2, or was that dollar supposed to make me 3 or 4? What's the outcome? Is it going to improve your sales? Is it going to improve your time? Is going to give you some time back? Is it going to improve the quality of your service or your product? Something to that effect.
What's the return on the investment on the dollar? There should always be a return on an investment.
That's one of the next one. What's the return? Is it paying you back in revenue? Is it paying you back in capacity or consistency so that you can do those repetitive things simpler? Some type of automation. And is it aligned? What is the alignment? Is it aligned to what your goals were? So if you don't have goals, we just spending just to be spending. That's how you end up with a bunch of software that you don't need, and you're paying monthly for software that you don't use. You know what I'm saying? Or you got all these courses that literally teach you the same exact thing. I've been there and done that.
There you go.
I'm not don't buy the course. If you didn't learn what you need to learn from that first person and you still have a need to learn it, by all means, buy another course. But let's buy another course strategically this time. Let's ask somebody, hey, I'm having an issue with this. Have you experienced this in your business? That's place to go, people in your industry. If you don't have somebody in your industry, just find another business owner who 9 times out of 10 still has the same issue, just from a different perspective. And ask them, what course did you take? How did you learn this? And can you help me? Because 9 times out of 10, you can probably come to somebody like me or Sandra or Didi, and we can help you, and you don't have to spend anything. That's the whole networking community.
Right.
I'm off my soapbox. You can go ahead.
No, I think it was a great soapbox, to be honest with you. If we're keeping it real, I think it was a great soapbox. I think really we just have to, as a community, start talking about it more, but then we got to start doing it. We have to stop, the excuses and the FOMO and the YOLO and the you do deserve it. Mm-hmm. Why can't you just say I deserved it and why is that not adoration enough? Why is you accomplishing the goal that you set out to accomplish not reward enough? To me, it goes back to a little bit of self-esteem, because if you had some kind of self-esteem, you should be able to acknowledge within yourself that you accomplished that goal, and then let's go create another one and keep it moving. Why must there be a trophy, okay, at the end of you accomplishing something as an adult? We're adults. I can see you doing it for kids because you want to build their self-esteem, but taking that same behavior into adulthood is irresponsible. And I think it's why we're showing the wrong patterns to the young people. We're not showing them strategic spending. We're showing them emotional spending. So guess what they do? They emotional spend.
Yeah.
And now we got little kids driving around in little Mercedes, radio cars.
Mercedes.
Range Rover, Land Rovers, whatever, RV cars, or 4x4s. They don't even have a job.
Right.
But we spent more money on making them feel good or letting them know we love them financially, that when it comes time to go to school and go to college, they're taking out loans and they're in debt now for something that you could have took that same money and put it into their education. Why, why is it when my son turned 18, they got a bank account. They got access to their bank account. I took my name off the bank account, turned it over to them, marched them down to Bank of America, said, take my name off of it. This is theirs. Here's their card. They got a credit card. They got a debit card. They got the bank account. And that was it.
Right.
Boom.
But I mean, you called it out. It's emotional spending. Pressure. We talked about pressure last month, making financial decisions under pressure. That pressure makes you react, but the emotional side of it makes you repeat it. It makes it a pattern. Right. And that's what we got to get out of this pattern. And one of the ways you can kind of help yourself do that, if nobody could see it, or if it doesn't make you money, like we talked about with the return on investment, would you still buy it? A lot of times you wouldn't.
They don't care. Right. Think about how we have changed the game when it comes to brands. We have changed the way brands even market. Think about what it was like before Black people knew what name brands were. These people didn't have logos all over their clothes. We made it so that logos were a thing. We made it so that we wanted somebody to know we had, look what's on my shirt. Look what's on my shirt.
The emotional spending.
You know what they had here before that? They had a little teeny tiny ass alligator that nobody could see.
What?
Just to say you got it.
And this is why I got them to kick out of them. They are that tiny. Far away, you can't tell the difference from that. And with them little whales from, I don't know, JCPenney or somewhere.
Thank you.
You don't know the difference. It's the
That's
same
how big the
material.
logos used to be on clothing. And guess what? We decided, well, we want everybody to know I got a logo. Hold on, hold this, hold this. The whole shirt gotta have a.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
we got
Oh,
shirts, logos, earrings, necklaces, glasses, watches. Everything gotta have a logo on it. We had changed the game. We changed marketing because of how we spin and see things as a community. So much so that now we got white folks doing it.
Here's the thing. I don't care who you are. If I can wear somebody else's brand, I can wear my own brand. This is
Right.
why I started a brand a few years ago. This is why I kept pushing my son to start a brand, because you're a graphic designer. You got some fire designs. People will wear it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the community gets to. It's not about separation, division. It's how we create a real ecosystem. But when we're talking about the Black community, create your own ecosystem. Wear your homeboy brand. Wear your homegirl brand. If she make bonnets,
No,
you know it
that don't.
costs a little bit more, but it might last longer.
Nope. That's not that. That doesn't mean
They want it for free. They don't want to pay your friends for their
You're not
clothes.
doing that for free. I saw one of my homeboys from high school post like, "You're not negotiating with these other stores. Why are you in a barbershop negotiating a price? The price is the price."
No. You know how? Do you know how frustrating it is when I have people say to me, you know, just last night on a call with a client, and she was upset because it was going to cost. We had to go back and do 5 years worth of bookkeeping, and it was going to cost her about $2,000 a year, which is as cheap as we could do it. Think about it. That's $200. That's less than $200 a month. I think it came out to like $150 a month or something, right? $150 a month bookkeeping. You know what kind of slave labor that is? Okay. That's not
Can
even
I
a
use
dollar.
that term during Black History Month, ma'am?
Yes. It was slave labor though. It was.
Listen, if you're not willing to do it yourself, you're gonna pay
You
the
gotta
price.
pay.
It's
You
simple.
gotta pay.
Look. And I said to myself, I said, self, this is why we are struggling to become the superstars we are. Because when your business grows over $1 million and you can't find none of the money, and now you want me to go back and historically recreate all your transactions for 5 years, but you only want to pay me $100 a month, a year to do that.
I ain't gonna touch that one.
But see, they gave themselves some emotional spending back then, and now they need to strategically spend. And now because it's strategic and they're not going to get anything for it, right? They're not going to get any warm, fuzzy feelings from it. They're not going to get a mink coat. They're not going to get a vacation. It's not going to, I'm not going to give them a trophy at the end and say, good job. You got your books done. You're just going to get an invoice with a due date. Because there's no benefit, there's no, I can't even, I might have lost a word to even think of what to call it. But because
see the value.
They don't see the value.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting anything for it. Yes, you
That's
are. I'm
it.
cleaning up your mess. So the IRS will give you back your passport. And they will take the lien off your house. And you can drive your car and put money in the bank again.
That's
okay.
Tough. Whew, they taking
it.
That's the payoff.
Yeah.
I think people need to understand those type of repercussions for that stuff. Because that stuff you just don't think about. Like, what's the repercussions of me not doing these things? Like, how do I know if it's an investment? What truly makes an expense an investment instead of just spending? It's important to have. You got to have a DD on your team. You got to be open to constructive feedback, so that somebody can tell you this is not the way and here's why, and this is the better way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, some of us are we feel like we're just talking to the wall. Like, you know, there's a lot of ways that people can earn money real quick, right? Everybody wants to listen to all the training and coaches and the people offering, you know, do travel, do credit repair, do taxes, do life insurance, do, you know, start your own lawn care business, start your own daycare, everybody can go out here, you know, become a truck driver. You know, I hear all these, every time I turn around, somebody's showing you how, let me show you how to make this money. Let me show you how to make this money. But ain't nobody showing you how to spend the money.
Show me how to keep the money for
Okay.
real hard times.
We're telling them, you know, they shouldn't reward themselves. They shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. Now, emotional spending is not all bad, okay?
No,
We don't want to feel like
It's
emotional. Like maybe
emotional and spending should not be together.
it should not. All emotional feelings are bad. I feel like there can be a safe balance. Now, I'm having a stressful week and I can't afford to go and, you know, do some self-love and have a spa day. So that's what I'm saying. When is it appropriate for people to take time and reward themselves when it is going to cost them some money and they want to do something? So when is the time right?
I think that the reason why we're calling it emotional spending is because we are saying that it has nothing to do with anything that is relevant, because you don't have to have a reason to go and purchase something, right? You can have a need. If you have a pair of shoes and the shoes are not shoeing, you go buy a pair of shoes. It doesn't have to be an emotional connection to it. We got the gala at the end of the month. Do I need a reason to go buy something to wear to the gala? No, I didn't need a reason to buy a ticket. I bought a ticket. There was no emotional connection to it. You know why I bought the ticket? Because I wanted to be there. I wanted to support a Black entrepreneur. I wanted to go see other Black entrepreneurs. Okay. I wanted to support Shamika. I wanted to be there in attendance. I wanted to be counted. Okay.
So if you have to categorize that with being strategic or being emotional, which category
it's
does that
strategic all day. You know why? Because I'm in a network. You think I'm not bringing business cards with me?
Look, it's a touch of emotion because she loved me a little bit.
Yeah, when you're talking about supporting other people and wanting to be there, that is more of a feeling. That's why I'm like, there is a safe balance of emotion.
It is, you know, but I'm smart enough to know. No offense, Shamika.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm smart enough to know that it said entrepreneur gala. It didn't say, folks, let's hang out and let's spend some money gala. Because I would have passed on that. I would have been like, Shamika, oh, you cute. I'll see the pictures in your dress. I'll see the pictures of the speech. Okay. But I know there's going to be a whole bunch of other entrepreneurs there. Yeah. And what is the legacy we're trying to change? We're trying to communicate with other entrepreneurs to show them how to do things differently, right? Yeah. So
that is a reward, like you talked about. That's a reward. Have your friends, your family, your customers, have them aware of those type of opportunities. Like I didn't know somebody nominated me, but that to me is a reward where it's like, okay, you beating yourself up, not feeling like you're making the impact you want to make, but somebody clearly saw it.
There you go.
So that's the reward. So now it makes me take a step back and be like, okay, it's not for nothing. You got to go harder. And you got to go harder strategically. So absolutely, no offense taken. Everybody bring your business cards. I highly recommend people attend, even if you are just thinking about starting a business. That's an investment, and the right tax preparer going to help you write it off strategically if possible as well. It's not always like, oh, I'm in business now, and now I can start writing stuff off. There's a certain amount of things you can do up to a certain point. Didi is the expert on that, where you can say this was, a part of that business.
Right.
You don't have to jump out and get the LLC. You don't have to jump out and get the Benz. You just need to get back and forth to where you need to go. All the
There you
cars,
go.
all the cars do that.
Right.
Well, I'll be pulling
like
up to the gala in my Kia Telluride. Okay,
I'm
just just so you know.
And it's paid for. It's gonna be clean, and you're gonna be looking good stepping out of it. Okay.
Look. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be clean. I got 2 dogs.
What they say?
You
What
know,
they say now? Clock that T. Clock
that T.
Okay, like
Look,
that.
I'm gonna have to make sure I get it clean because Kizzy and Koala be in it at least once a day. Okay, that part.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna have to get it clean. But
you had mentioned earlier about the pretty much like emotional spending is kind of generational because they see it in the home, and it's something that is you gonna monkey see monkey do. So that goes back to also for me self-development and mindset, because before you make money, before you even know how to spend money, you have to understand your relationship with money. And this is something we're going to get into in the coming episodes, because your relationship with money is it shows how you spend your money or how you misspend your money. So
if you don't like your relationship with money, you got to change it. That's what I say. Look,
you have to.
Just like that man used to pop you in the mouth.
Just not disciplined.
Right. Look, you know what they say, if you was in a relationship and that person popped you in the mouth, you stood there and you took it or you got out. It's the same thing with money. Some of y'all are getting popped in the mouth with money and ain't even paying attention. Okay. And sitting right there and letting it keep doing it. So, and that's where the emotional part comes in. It's like, and I have to use, the reason why I use domestic violence as as kind of a simile to other things. I use it in business relationships. I use it often in money relationships. The reason why is because when someone's physically getting hit, they react, right? Their whole body reacts. They emotionally react, right? They go through all these different emotions. But when it happens, when it's in business or if it's in finances, we get the dopamine hit from buying the purchases, right? Making the purchases, but we don't recall the damage we did when we overspent. We don't see it. We blame I need somebody to help me pay the light bill. Well, why don't you have the money for the light bill? Well, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mind went straight to the recent social media drama with some of these celebrities. I'm not calling no names. It just made me think of that.
Oh, Glow sister.
I won't say it again. Why you ain't get the money? Now you got the money thanks to Tory Lanez. They said, but listen. What you gonna do?
I checked out after I realized that she was asking for $2,500. Once I saw the part where she said, when a guy at TMZ said, well, if she made $1 million, how much do you think she should get? 25 what? 2,500? Okay. If you don't get on this line, you did all that. Really? Okay. Bye, girl. Bye. But yeah. So again, we got she is a perfect example of not having a good relationship with money and and having expectations, expecting something just because you're there. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Do I think she deserved to pay? I don't think Glow owed anybody anything she didn't want to give them.
That's right.
What did Kobe say? Were you in the gym doing the free throws? Were you in the gym?
No.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Glow, if she gave the money or didn't give the money, it's the same thing. Were you in the booth or the studio? Were you there dedicating whatever time she dedicated to get wherever she's at?
Right.
To me, it's the same story. People want, because they have an emotional attachment to something, they think they deserve something just because they exist. And our generation didn't grow up like that. You didn't get nothing unless you work for it.
Right.
The expectations and what people feel like they deserve, I feel like it's definitely been influenced by the media and social media and stuff, because I didn't see all that stuff. You can't want something that you ain't never had, but you see so many people with it, and now you're seeing people that look like you with it, and it's like, well, it gives you hope, but at the same time, it's also playing with your mind, because just because they got it don't mean you get it. You can, but you got to put in the work. And what we
Yeah.
want is what we see the results. We don't want to do what they had to go through or sacrifice
Yeah.
what they had to sacrifice, because
Say
we
that.
don't even
Say
know what it was.
Instant gratification. Like we're living in a microwave world for some years now, and it's just getting worse and worse. But
Yeah.
it's a matter of, it's funny because somebody asked me last week, like, what you end up doing last night? And because initially I was planning on going out, but I ended up changing my mind because I'm like, I got work to do. And so I was
Right.
like, I ended up staying home working, and I got the response like, boo. And I was like, listen, these books ain't editing themselves. These projects ain't getting done without me. So sometimes unfortunately, you gotta miss out
Yep.
to get to the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? You gotta miss out.
Yeah.
Look, I tell
You
people all
gotta
the time.
sacrifice. It's
Yeah.
I
sacrifice.
tell people all the time. You can't be mad at me for whatever success you think I have if you didn't do what I'm doing to create whatever you think it is that I have.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you're not up with me at 5 o'clock in the morning, if you're not up with me until 8, 9 o'clock at night, if you're not working 5 days a week, if you haven't studied and saved and reinvested the money back into the business instead of going out and doing the things that everybody else is doing, how many vacations you see me take?
Listen, and I'm a travel advisor. Now I am. When y'all see me pop off in a little bit, I deserve it. But
Look, okay, emotional spender. Okay, emotional spender. I deserved it. Okay, emotional spender.
I ain't been nowhere in a minute because I understood I can't take all the trips. You know what I'm saying? I can,
Mhm.
but I happen to be in an industry that this particular host that I'm with for my travel industry kind of lets me. I look at it as layaway in a trip, because every year that I'm an active advisor, I get a voucher that'll cover up to a 7-day hotel stay. So I have some benefit there.
Putting in the work.
So what I'm saying, there's a give and take a little bit. Not saying I'm
Right,
still
but
not
you,
doing
but
everything correctly. Just saying.
so right. So then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be negative Nelly, okay? Because the first thing I'm gonna say is right. It covered what, the hotel stay? Did it cover the spending money? Did it
Oh,
cover the airfare? Did it cover the clothing you had to buy to go for it? The food that you had to pay while you was there? Did you bring
She could.
somebody else with you?
That's like you see that sale. Ooh, they got a 75% off. Yeah, but you won't go spend 25% of your money today. You
That's
gonna
what I
right.
said.
spend.
That's
Oh,
not a
that.
that's not a free vacation. That is what we call right, just like you said, a sale to get you out the door so you can go spend some more
Yeah,
money that you
yeah.
already didn't have. So until they give you a voucher that covers, that says we're gonna cover the airfare, we're gonna cover the hotel, we're gonna give you a stipend that let you that's gonna cover your meals for the whole week. Okay, because that's when I went to Puerto Rico. People don't realize that. How I ended up in Puerto Rico was my trip was whole paid. Okay, my hotel was paid. Food was taken care of. Okay. The reason why I went there to the conference as a speaker is because those things were paid for.
Mhm,
You get that part?
mhm.
So folks think, oh, you was on vacation, you was on vacation. No, the fuck I wasn't. I was working.
First of
Okay.
all, mind their business that pays them. Don't worry about while I'm on. Don't worry about while I'm on vacation. Are you
Look,
on vacation?
I went on vacation on a family trip last year for my grandson, and my son. That was vacation. That
Right.
was celebrating 3 birthdays at one time. Okay. Family trip, gifts, time away from everything. It was everything. You know why? Because it encompassed more than one thing. I'm one of those people. I guess I do have to have um, a return on my investment.
Yeah.
Okay. So my investment was my daughter, my son, my grandson, all
Mm-hmm.
3 of their birthdays. If you're going to be in one spot, you might as well celebrate. Their birthdays are 2 days apart, the 9th, the
Right.
11th, the 13th of the same week. Okay. So if you're going to do something, make it right. It made sense. I brought my son, so I get to have my whole family together in one place. So to me, that wasn't emotional. It was strategic. It feels like emotion, but at the end of the day, if you're going to do something, have it be more than one thing. Let it be emotional and strategic. Okay.
Right.
Let it pay for itself. That time I'm never going to get back,
Right.
but it let me, go down and spend time and do something that I would normally not be able to do. And that's spend
Right.
time with both my sons in one place on a vacation with my grandson, their family, my family, all the families. That was the payoff.
Yeah.
You understand? So I guess to me, it has to have a return on investment. There has to be more than just one thing.
And everybody's return is different,
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's
That is
return
true.
is different. For
Yeah.
some people, the return is just being able to do it,
Mhm.
So yours being a multifaceted, thing, it can
That
be
Yeah.
part,
one
yeah.
thing that can be that meaningful as yours to them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
But
but I
still
say as long as
decently.
you can afford it, and hey, do what you feel you can do. But when you're in a position afterwards that you didn't plan to be in, don't come asking me for it.
What I said, right. I didn't come home
Yes.
after having to be in a hotel for a week, right? I had to board my dogs, right? That means I had to have somebody, I paid somebody to stay here with Kizzy and Koala for a week. Okay. We traveled there, paid for the hotel for the week. We had to come up with gifts for not only those 3 kids, there was other family members that had birthdays. So it ended up being like 6 people's birthdays we were celebrating, right?
Mm.
Right.
Food, entertainment. Okay. And guess what? The week before that I was in New Orleans at a tax conference for a week. Okay. So to me, it's like, and when it came time to Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever, Halloween, at the end of the year, I wasn't knocking on somebody else's door and saying, hey, I did this for you. Can you help? Can you give me $100 towards the light bill? Because
Right.
I'm not going to take that trip and do those things and then turn around and not have already budgeted for what's going to happen. If I knew exactly how much I could spend, I had saved and put that money away before that trip. And once
Right.
that money was exhausted, I was ready to go. Ask my son, did we not leave a day early? We were supposed to leave that Saturday. We left that Friday morning. Okay? We were supposed to leave Saturday afternoon. We left Friday morning. That's it. I'm done. I'm on E. I don't want to be here no more. I'm ready to go home. All day.
Lord mercy.
All
But
day.
yeah.
The minute I can't go someplace and be comfortable and spend what I need to spend, or I feel like I gotta watch my wallet, I'm out. I'm not doing that. Nope. So when you ask me, can I go someplace, and I say no, if I gotta watch my wallet, I'm not going. If I gotta check my bank account before I swipe that card, we ain't going. That's it. Period.
Yeah.
I know that's right. So everybody, look, that's Dee Dee's boundaries. Everybody set your boundaries to
That's
limit your
it.
spending so that you're making strategic decisions with your money
Yeah.
over emotional decisions with your money.
Absolutely.
Now, strategic
Yes.
spending does not mean you have to be cheap. It just means you have to be intentional.
Thank you.
What I'm saying, you
Thank
don't, you
you.
don't, you don't have to be cheap. You don't have to go without 100%, but understand the consequences of when you make those decisions and you're not prepared. Like some people,
Amen.
when I say I got stuff on auto pay and I can I can turn something off and not worry about it because I've paid ahead so much. I build a cushion for myself. I
Yep.
plan and I've got some backups, in the works. And sometimes, one of the things years ago, I don't remember where I saw it from, but it was like if you're thinking about making a big purchase, any purchase really, wait 24 hours. If it's still on your mind, you still thinking about it, okay, maybe you're okay to go ahead and purchase. And it's not so much an emotional thing. It may not be a need because if you forget about it, you really didn't want it anyway. It probably
That doesn't
wasn't.
work for me. That don't work for me. I'm obsessed. I obsess over things. So no, 24 hours. I'm about 10 of them. So
Oh my goodness!
now, if I nope, nope, don't work for me. It don't. It don't. I'm gonna be
What you
honest.
trying to end of?
Look, my son went and got us two. What are these things called? What's this damn desk called? I don't even know the company name. And I was a Secret Lab. That's who it is. My son went and got us two Secret Lab desks. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all look that up. I got the white one. He got the black one. That's all I'm gonna say. And I've been wanting this thing for 3 years now. He went and all I said was one thing. You know what? If I could get myself one thing for my birthday, it would be a Secret Lab desk. My son said, "Hold my beer." Them bitches showed up at the door. Okay? Nah. And he got one too. Let me tell you something. No, don't work for me. Because when I want something, I'm going to get it.
Now, again, I started in the beginning. I'm that person. I like it. I want it. I got it. I'm buying it. I have. For those who are watching who don't want to go look it up, it's basically an adjustable sit and stand type of desk, and I have one in addition to my actual desk. And I love it. But there was some attachment, not necessarily emotional for it, but that is a business expense. But that is also something that I use because we understand we don't want to be sedentary all the time. We want to stand up. I don't want back troubles when I mean, shit, I got them now anyway. But I don't want worse back troubles, the older I get. So I make it use the devices that I have and use those functions and features. Stand up. It's time to stand up. Okay, cool. I don't want to lose productivity. I get to stand up and keep working. And then, if you got sciatica or you got something like that, that's a good thing to have, quite honestly. But I mean, I get it. But I don't want people walking away from today's episode and missing the point. Listen, just you got to start somewhere. It's no different than pretty much anything else. If you're trying to be a Christian all of a sudden and you think you're supposed to just magically do right, that's not how that works. It's habits that you built, it's patterns that you built that you gotta slowly work yourself out of. Surround yourself with people who have better habits. Make sure you are understanding looking professional and being professional. I'll take you being professional 100% of the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take you being 100%. Being professional 100% of the time over looking professional. Some of these businesses, I get it. In certain situations, yes. Do you need a professional email? Absolutely. But in the meantime, let that Gmail do what it's got to do. Respond to those customers when you're supposed to. That's really what it matters. That's the stuff that matters. So make sure
you know what's crazy though is that people won't get the professional email. They can't see that because there's no emotional connection to it. Okay, it's an email.
Yeah.
There's no reward for that. There's no dopamine hit for getting a professional email.
It is once you see that person, and this is again why it goes back to networking and taking the real courses. No shade to anybody else, but I know there's a lot of fluff courses out here. But getting around the people who tell you, if I didn't have a professional email, I wouldn't have got that grant. I wouldn't have got that client. Those things do matter. But when you don't have the money, you got to work a little bit harder. It's no different. Honestly, unfortunately, a lot of us as Black people, as Black women especially, we're no stranger to having to work harder because of this. I got to work harder because I don't have a professional email. I got to work harder because my name is Shamika and not Nicole. I got to work a little bit harder. Unfortunately, that kind of stuff matters. It shouldn't, but it does.
It does.
Yep.
Amen. You're right about that.
Making good decisions and consistently. That's discipline. That's the discipline of it.
Yeah, you want to turn those bad habits into good habits, and a habit takes practice. So start small. Throughout all of our episodes, we're always dropping 3, 5, 10 things that you can implement. So pick one, and once you got that mastered, come back and do another one. And all of these tips that you're getting from us are for free. You ain't got to pay no coach.
That's right. Look, listen to what Shamika said. Wait 24 hours. Don't be like me. Okay?
Look, don't be like me.
Don't be like Shamika. What did I see?
Not what I do.
I hate you.
I'm terrible.
Okay, do what Shamika said. Wait 24 hours. Okay? Don't be like Dee obsessed over stuff.
I'm getting better.
She said she's getting better.
I'm getting better. I can say that for sure.
Look, to me,
I walked in the store the other day. I only bought one pair of shoes.
Oh shoot, that's progress.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
We got.
Don't say nothing. Hold on to it.
You said enough tonight for us to play
it back in our head.
This is how we think.
You know why I think the reason why a lot of these expenses to me I don't make sense because I work virtually, right? My whole platform, my whole business is virtual, which means I very rarely have to go in. I have chosen to make sure that my platform is virtual, which means I very rarely have to sit in front of people anymore. That was my whole career, face-to-face, customer-facing, corporate America, just like everybody else. You had to go out and work in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Mine required me to be face-to-face with clients, right? As well as virtual. So once I chose to go into business for myself, I chose to be 100% virtual, which means that my pajamas, I can be in all day, okay? I can wear slippers every day. So when I buy a pair of shoes, it serves literally no purpose. You know why? Because I've been buying slippers, okay? I have slippers. I wear the slippers until the slippers slip, and then I go get me some more slippers. I actually have to buy some shoes for to go to the event for. And thank you for reminding me because I probably do need to look for a pair of shoes, or I'm just gonna wear a pair of my sneakers. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I get me a dress long enough, I'm really gonna be wearing a pair of Jordans. So don't judge me. I hope they still let me through the door.
It's dresses now. It's like
I think we talked about sneaker ball for the next gala, for our gala. Y'all get your sneaker game together. Absolutely. I'm not knocking it. Like I said, I am doing better. I almost went and bought another pair of shoes for the gala, but I went back through my Amazon cart and said, you know what? I did buy these shoes. I just gotta go find them. But
you have that many shoes that you can't find them, Shamika?
Listen, I was trying to donate some of them, but the lady told me she already, got what she needed, and I was like, dang, I needed to donate it because, it's bad over here.
Take them, put them in a box and drop them off at the Goodwill.
That's normally where I take my stuff, but I'm in a season now where I want to make sure I not necessarily see who it touches, but I want to know it's not the workers taking it, and because I've seen those situations too. Like I want to make sure it's getting where it needs to go without somebody having to buy it necessarily.
Okay.
They price it low.
Right.
Hey,
I'm gonna keep it real with you. Look, I'm gonna keep it real. I hope the workers take it because as far as I'm concerned, if you're working there, you're probably not making a lot of money anyway. So
listen, a lot of industries like that. whew, I wish I had went into the government or something, because wherever I need to be to advocate for people to make more money, these nursing homes, these rehabilitation
Yep.
facilities, and all that, these
Yep.
people do not make enough money, point blank, period.
They do
So,
not.
It's 8 o'clock.
but
Okay.
Yep. Who just said it's 8 o'clock?
Yeah,
it's
my
8 o'clock. It
computer
is.
did. My computer
Look, I
did.
was about to say, I was about to say it, but I know I didn't say it yet, but I heard it. But it's 8
No,
o'clock. I'm like, okay.
no, my
I'm
computer has a look. My whole life is on a daggone schedule. Okay.
that's right.
Listen, and yeah,
I-
being 8 o'clock, if you don't take away nothing else, take away, spend with a purpose and a plan.
Yes.
Spend with
okay.
a purpose and a plan. Bottom
Yeah.
line.
I can do
Yeah,
that.
Bottom line.
like the comment says, especially not to keep up with this economy. You're gonna run yourself into the hole trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say. And
Hmm.
the bare necessities, and I know this is not uh, a church podcast or anything like that, but a long time ago I said, God, if you don't bless me with nothing else, you covered more than enough.
Mm.
I have somewhere to stay. I have food to eat. I have clothes on my back. I have love and affection from my family, my friends. The basic necessities are there. Me and my best friend have this saying, we work hard because we want things. We have all our needs. We work
Hmm.
hard because we got a lot of wants.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, Miss Bessie. Thank you for tuning in.
I sign up
Yeah.
for that one. I work hard because I have a lot of wants. I agree. I thoroughly
Yeah.
agree with that one.
I don't
Yep.
know.
That
True
sounds
basic
like
needs
DD all
nowadays.
day.
And while y'all out here trying to keep up with the Joneses, just keep in mind America is broke, okay?
Well, I'm about to say they broke too.
America is in debt. Like, so while we trying to keep up with what things look like, come on, y'all. Things are not really what it seems. So
Yes,
Okay.
make sure
the
you're staying
compound.
in your lane and you're living within your means and just keep up with yourself. Because you don't know what the person
Hey,
beside you got going on. Like, you really don't.
Miss Green
Appearances
has entered the
can be.
chat. She
Okay.
said, "Amen, clock it." That's our saying.
Oh,
We
yes,
got
yes,
all our needs. We
yes.
just got a lot of wants. And yes, the compound. I've been talking about a compound for years now. So by all
Mhm.
means, it's time for us to. Again, it's not about isolation and desegregation and all this other stuff. Listen, there's nothing wrong with taking care of your own,
That's
and that
right.
doesn't mean we're not supporting other people. We would
Hmm.
never
Hmm.
divide it on this earth and do this thing by ourselves. So I don't really
Right,
care what color you are. You respect me, I respect you, and that's just how this thing goes.
right.
If I can help you, I'm gonna help you. If you can help me, help me.
Yep.
Say less. Say
Yep.
less.
Y'all hung out with us tonight. I know we ran a little bit late, but we appreciate all the views. We appreciate all the comments. And if you're watching this at any other time, if you have a question, drop it in the chat. You can DM us. If there's something that you heard that you like, share this live, share the video so people can see this information because we never know who needs to hear it. I
Amen.
like to think that we are sharing valuable information. So the more people can hear it, the more impact it can have.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything else y'all want to
If
say?
you're
No,
not
that is perfect.
follow. If you haven't already, go subscribe to the YouTube page. We appreciate y'all. More to come. If you're interested in being a guest, you just gotta send us an email and let's do this thing. This again is
Thank
about
y'all.
collective collaboration. It's not
Yeah.
about competition. I don't care if it's 10 tax preparers sitting up here, 10 coaches up here, 10 insurance specialists up here. There's room for all of us. Again, it's
Sure
like,
Yeah.
is.
but I'm gonna tell you, he ain't give you these ideas and these plans to not give you the people, the resources to get these things done. And I am
That's
talking to myself first and foremost. Okay?
Mhm.
Clock something, go
all right.
clock
That's
I'm gonna have to
real.
add that into the theme somewhere. It's gonna be a little AI going like this.
Okay.
that Legacy Lounge.
That's
Right. I
it.
love that song. I'm gonna figure out replay just to hear that song.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good evening, and we will see y'all next month, same time.
Yes.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good night, good night, good night.